Hola hermosa gente, espero que estén super bien. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to answer the following question. Should you do TFA LA? So just to give you a little bit of background, I was in the TFA program teaching high school Spanish in downtown Los Angeles. So if you're new and if you need help with teaching or just need some additional tips, I have some suggested videos in the description box below. And feel free, if you find any of the videos helpful, subscribe or like them. Alright, so I'm going to break down this video into 4 different parts. 1, I'm going to talk about living arrangements. 2, credential information. 3, testing requirements. And my personal opinion, and I'll say yes or no, should you do TFA LA? So the first part is living arrangements. So the first thing that you want to think about is how far your home will be from your school placement. Because commute, you may think that, oh yeah, I can do the 1-hour commute. It's going to be terrible. So I say do not accept a job offer that the commute is 30 minutes or more. If it's less than 30 minutes, I think you should definitely consider it. But for example, for me, my placement school was an hour away from my house, and that was with traffic, and it was horrible, and it just is mental strain. It just adds to the mental strain for the day, to an already stressful day at school. The second thing is that if you are brand new, like you don't know anybody in LA and you want to try this different environment, you are not going to be able to survive living on your own with a first year teaching salary. So you're gonna have to look for 2 or 3 roommates and take institute and induction as opportunities to meet people and potential roommates. But you will not be able to survive on your own, unfortunately. Even in the most cheapest areas, you probably won't be able to. The third thing that I want to mention is that on the website, on the TFA website, it breaks down some of the cost of living out here, or living out there, because I'm not in LA right now. And I think it's pretty accurate, except for taxes. I think it's like a little bit over $1,000 taken out of your regular paycheck. So if you are getting paid for $3,500, expect to earn $2,500. And so you just really need to budget, and I would always overestimate the price for taxes, for rent, etc. when you are deciding where to live. But it's pretty accurate except for the taxes part. I know it says $700, but it's about $1,000. And the last thing that I want to talk about in this category of living arrangements is to look for housing after you got your placement school, so that you know, okay, where you have to figure out like how far the placement school is to the area of housing that you want to live in. And if you live at home with your family and you're waiting for a response for your placement school, or for an interview to a placement school, I would highly suggest to talk to TFA. Hey, like, these are the areas that I would like to work in because they're close to your house or to your family. Because if you don't, they're just gonna put you in a random spot. So you do have to request, hey, like, I'd like for a school to interview me in this area. Part number 2 is credentialing information. Please, if you skip over every part of this video except for this one, I would be more than happy. So the way credentialing works in California is a little bit complex. When I first became a teacher, none of it was really clear to me. People would just say clear, credential, preliminary, all these fancy words, and I had no idea what these meant. And so I'm going to break it down to you in the most simplest form. So your first year, you are going to receive your intern credential, and this is just permission to teach while you are in a teaching program. So all TFA members are required to complete a teaching program for 1 year at Loyola Marymount University, and you have to pay for it. It's $8,000. You can pay in monthly installments, but it is a requirement. And for after that first year, you will receive a preliminary credential, and this means that you can teach for 5 years. But within that time frame, if you want to teach past those 5 years, you have to clear credential within that 5-year time frame. And clearing basically means that you have to enroll in an induction program, and in this program they coach you to become a better teacher. And I'm not sure how long the program is, but you have to complete it in order to clear your credential, and you have to pay for it out of pocket. I don't know if there are schools that pay for the induction program, but when I was in TFA, my placement school told me, hey, like, you need to clear your credential if you want to teach a 3rd year. Even though the preliminary is for 5 years, but there are some schools that require you to complete it earlier, or they just encourage you to complete it earlier. And so they told me you have to, in order to clear it, you have to go through our induction program, and it'll cost you $3,000. It'll be reimbursed. But I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue teaching, and I also didn't have $3,000 to spare at that very moment, and I didn't do it. That's how it works in California. I'm not sure how other states do it. I'm in Nevada right now, and I got my preliminary credential transferred over here, and I didn't need to clear it or anything. I now have a license here in Nevada, and I didn't have to pay anything, which is great. Part 3 is test requirements. So there are 3 main tests that you have to take. So the first one is the most important one, which are the CSETs, and you have the multiple subject for elementary and middle school teachers, I think, or maybe it's just elementary. Then you have the single subject CSETs, which is mostly high school, and these CSETs are actually 3 separate tests. So each, for example, I did CSET Spanish, and so there was 3 sub-tests that I had to take in order to fulfill that requirement of the CSETs. The second main test, and going back to the CSETs, it costs $247 to complete all 3 of those specific tests. And I'll talk about, if you don't have the money, I'll share about what you can do and respond to that. So, but the second test is the CBEST, and a lot of subs take it. Subs and teachers have to take it. It's not that important. Most people will pass. You will probably pass, and it's $41. The third test is the Youth Constitution test, and again, this is like not that important either, but it's a requirement, and you can literally Google things to study for this test, and it's $81. So now, let's say you cannot afford these tests. Don't worry. What you could do is talk to TFA and literally be honest and tell them, I cannot afford these tests at this moment because of X, Y, and Z. Do you have any testing vouchers or financial aid that you could provide for me in order for me to pay these tests? And they are more likely to help you out. I got all my CSETs paid for, so it's completely possible. Part number 4 is my personal opinion on this. To answer your question if you should do it. My personal opinion is that you should do TFA Los Angeles if you live at home, live at home with your family and have a short commute. I think you should do it. That's fantastic. Because you have your support system, it's a little bit more affordable, and you get to be in your home space. But if you are completely brand new and you are coming into LA, I don't think that you should do it, because it's probable that you will have a very lonely or depressing experience, because LA in that is a very lonely place. I know there's a lot of people, but it's very hard to connect with other strangers, or it's very hard to make new friends. And it'll be just worse if you have a long commute, if you're placed in a school that you don't like, and there's just so many factors that could lead up to a core member to quit, which has happened to so many people that they just cannot take TFA LA. It's one of the most competitive ones, but I don't understand why, aside from the fact that maybe, LA is just super glamorized and it's completely overrated. And I think that you should choose a more affordable place to live. Like, let's say your thing is that you want a new environment. You can totally go to different areas that are a little bit more affordable, like Houston, Memphis, Nashville, etc. You can find all these locations on the website where it tells you like which one is the cost, which ones are really high cost of living, medium cost of living, low cost of living. If you have made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, press like and subscribe to my channel, because it means the world to me when you guys are finding this helpful, and it encourages me to create more videos, because it's not easy and it takes a lot of time. So thank you so much, and hasta luego. Ciao.